It is impossible to imagine a world without transportation. Most of us go to work every morning, by subway, by car, by BRT. Imagine if transportation had not expanded, how much slower things were going, and all this progress in different fields had not come at all. Other than public transportation, I can say that most of the things we use on a daily basis come to us through transportation. Public transportation has taken a new form in recent years. Online taxis entered Iran almost a decade ago, and in a short time they were able to achieve great success, so that a large part of the financial turnover of technology companies in Iran assigning to themselves. In this video, I am going to tell the history of the largest internet transport company in Iran. Let me tell you about SNAPP. The first online taxi in the world was Uber. It was founded in 2008 by Garrett Kemp and Travis Kalanick. These two people were successful entrepreneurs of the United States of America. One day they had traveled to Paris in France to attend an important meeting, but because they couldn't find a taxi, they didn't make it to their meeting. This incident became the basis for the formation of the idea of Uber in their minds. Now, it has become a situation that the people of the world are so dependent on online taxis that they are like air to breathe. Usually, the successful ideas of the world are also performed in Iran. SNAPP was no exception to this rule. Like Uber, SNAPP went through many challenges. At the beginning of work, the taxi organization filed a complaint against SNAPP. Why? Reduced taxi fares, which naturally caused taxi drivers to have fewer passengers. Provision of unsafe services. Of course, the second case is now and again bothering the SNAPP company, which became a big danger for SNAPP several times. Stay with us until the end of the video. I will tell you some shows until the end of the video. SNAPP was able to overcome these challenges during a period of 2 years and become one of the main players in the e-commerce industry. Of course, other policies also make SNAPP bigger day by day. There is a policy in all the companies in the world that first depends you on an application, a game, or does anything else. Then it becomes a big part of your life, and you can't put it aside anymore. That's why you have to get what has become a part of your life now, pay more money. Usually, the companies that want to create that need first, they give it to you for free or for a very small amount, but then you have to pay. Kind of like drugs, but it is addictive, which may have its own advantages and disadvantages. For example, I remember SNAPP rent was very cheap in the beginning. If I wanted to take a taxi, I had to change several taxis to reach my destination, and my price was not much different from SNAPP. The only difference was that SNAPP comes to the door like a private car, to the destination without delay and wasting time, and finally, the price is reasonable. A lot of incentive schemes were done in the beginning to encourage people. For example, inviting a user with an invitation code, almost $1 for the inviting person, and it had a free trip for the owner of the invitation code. All the things I said, plus new conditions with the arrival of new generation mobile internet, increasing the access of Iranian society to smartphones as a result of the serious entry of the internet into life, and also good SNAPP support, timely needs assessment, and many other factors. It made SNAPP become a part of our daily necessities. In 2014, the French model of SNAPP, the same as Uber, founded Uber Eats. Snap launched Snap Food in 2014. The success of Snap Online Taxi continued in Snap Food, and now it is one of the 5 electronic businesses in Iran in terms of bank transactions. Of course, Snap has also had failures. For example, Bamilo's idea was not very successful and eventually merged with Snap Market. There is a lot of ambiguity about the ownership of Snap. One of the first rumors about Snap's ownership, there were rumors that this company was connected to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, SEPA. This issue was firmly rejected by the IRGC. Ramzan Sharif, spokesman and public relations of the entire army, said in May 2016, "Snap has nothing to do with the Corps, and not just Snap. The rest of the online taxis." Zubin Alajband, Snap's CEO at the time, said in a TV interview about 60% of Snap shares are owned by Irancell and MTN, and 30% belongs to a German company. Now the question that arises is, who is Irancell for? However, among some people, the ownership of Snap is still not very clear. Skipping ownership, we get to the Snap logo. 2 colors, dark green and blue-green, were used in Snap's previous logo. Graphic symbol is used, which is the location sign. In fact, it showed the functional advantage of this application. At the end of 2016, Snap changed its logo in general. He gave and used mint green color in his logo. Many designers and branding experts criticized this general change of Snap. For example, why is a color used in the brand that causes eye irritation in the long term? Or, for example, what is the purpose of the exclamation mark next to the Snap typography? And what does it have to do with the operation of the application? Of course, Snap believes that these changes are due to the greater integration of the different subcategories of this company. Snap has been criticized by both passengers and drivers. Snap drivers in 2015 gathered in front of the company's office because the fares were reduced by 40%. Even in Kerman, physical action was taken against Snap office. According to the report of Euronews website, after a girl asked for a car, the car driver warned the girl to keep her hijab. The girl filmed that scene and claimed that the driver dropped her in the middle of the highway because of this issue. After a short period of time, a number of cyberspace users launching a campaign to ban Snap. The sidelines of this issue continued to the point that it caused the reaction of some high-ranking government officials. Of course, Mashrek News also said that the driver intended to take the passenger back to the origin, but the passenger got off on the way. After Snap, many online taxis were created, but most of them were discontinued after a while for various reasons. Tapsi started working in Iran 2 years after Snap, and in some cases, its services are more than Snap. For example, Tapsi line service, which does not exist in Snap, at least for now. Tapsi became the first startup company that was able to get permission to enter the stock market. And in this field, it practically surpassed Snap. Recently, Tapsi sued Snap because Snap company has bought 1,000 SIM cards, and instead of a passenger, he entered the system of Tapsi company and obtained the contact information of the drivers. Then he came and offered the drivers of Tapsi company to cooperate with higher salaries. Since the drivers accepted the offer of Snap, Tapsi was damaged. The Competition Council condemned Snap, and again, Snap lost the rhyme to Tapsi. SNAPP is Iran's fifth largest startup using this application. You can specify the origin and destination on the map. The advantage that apps like SNAPP have over similar traditional businesses, knowing the cost of travel before requesting a car, the possibility of online payment, and 24-hour support are other advantages of SNAPP. SNAPP operates in almost all major cities of Iran. The number of SNAPP employees is nearly 7,000. 62 million users used SNAPP in 2022. According to SNAPP's official website, more than 90% of the market volume is at the disposal of this company. Naturally, this amount of success in SNAPP, a lot of effort should be done in the background of this company, which of course SNAPP has managed so far